All right, hi guys. Welcome to a quick kind of like side discussion.
Episode.
Yeah, bonus episode.
Post-mortem.
Postmortem.
So, welcome to the club, guys.
if you have listened to the
I get to see Call of Cthulhu in heaven.
if you guys
we're not actually.
but
Sorry,
can I finish introing?
Yeah,
Okay.
Sorry.
If you just finished listening to the episode called "Here Comes Nyarlathotep," because that's what I'm calling it.
As it takes notes and writes it down.
Yeah, I am actually.
Was that Nyarlathotep on the throne?
Yes.
What?
I mean,
that
was
was
supposed
his-
to be his son.
No. When the black light is lit and when the six lights are lit and the blacks blah blah blah, death rains down and we all die.
Yeah, and from a mechanic standpoint, basically the 1d100 sanity loss is like anytime you see like Nyarlathotep, Cthulhu, any major god from the Mythos.
So if you guys have listened to that, great. If you haven't listened to it, I really suggest you go back and listen to it.
Spoilers.
It's going to be very spoilery here. So the reason we're doing this is Scott brought this to our attention months ago, that this is his first time really dealing with a true horror campaign and how that how that affects him.
Yeah.
So I'm here with
Bobby.
I'm here with Shirley, George, Scott, John, and Jesse. I just want to get this like out real quick. Jesse's kind of running late on time, so I thought that this would be something important though. So tonight we've lost two characters, Eva and Weld. How do you guys feel about that?
I'm gonna go probably cry.
Are you mad?
No, I mean it's just a game, but still, I like put a lot of effort into her,
Absolutely.
and
You can say
like,
yes, you're mad.
Yeah, you can.
You can say that.
is that
It
part
would
of
be
the
okay.
grieving process?
Yeah.
Because I feel
Anger
pretty
is in there
pretty
somewhere.
horrible. I have justifications for why I did what I did, but I feel pretty shitty that I killed two players
Yeah.
two characters that I like.
And I thought when my character died, he died in the way that he would have wanted to. The
Sure,
way your
right,
character
right.
died was kind of.
In all
like
fairness,
the Matrix, you
in all
just
fairness,
turn the switch off.
they aren't dead. They're just out of play.
They're on the
Yes.
dark side now.
So if you guys don't remember, Nyarlathotep appeared, and George, you lost how many?
50. Well, I had like 34 sanity points left,
And,
and I rolled a 53, so it just wiped my sanity out.
and
Wow.
surely you
I
had
35. I rolled a 47.
no, you rolled an 80 to lose. That's how much you would have lost was 80.
Yeah.
That's
You rolled
that second roll
47
was for.
failed sanity roll.
Right.
Yeah.
Then
And
you
I
rolled
lost
the
80.
80.
And Johnny, you succeeded.
No.
Or no, you failed.
I failed.
And
We
you
all
lost
failed.
16, which
Yeah.
was like half of what you had.
I lost 15. I had 30. So yeah.
So yeah, exactly half. So
Exactly
you
half.
almost died as well. I mean,
Yeah, I was damn close.
in fact, you had a really good chance of dying.
Yeah.
And Jesse, you failed,
Yes.
and
We all
you
failed.
lost 3,
I lost 3.
which isn't even a fifth.
No, I've lost more watching someone die.
Okay, so Shirley, you're a little upset.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. You love this character and you liked
Mhm.
everything about her. You're gonna miss the character.
Yeah.
Okay, George, how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, on the face of it, I feel a bunch of different ways about it. And so, I hear guys, off mic, and I think, Scott has already said it, but Matt and Scott both said that they were feeling kind of, what do you guys say?
I feel really guilty.
Feel guilty. And I don't
yeah.
think there's anything to feel guilty about. I mean, I personally am bummed, one part of me, because one, this is probably the longest I've ever had a chance to play a character in a tabletop setting. So we've been playing this for about a year, like you said earlier.
9 months, I think.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And so a lot of my tabletop games have only gone. I've played a lot of one shots and sustained campaigns I've done. I don't think any's lasted that long. So Weld's the longest lived character I've ever had in any game.
Oh, I feel worse.
No. And on one side, I loved playing him. I think he had a lot of really good moments that I really enjoyed doing that I thought were pretty cool. He had a pretty good arc. The one thing that, and I'd like to keep playing him. The one thing that I wish was that his story doesn't feel like it ended. And I don't know, if you're playing a character, if you can really figure that out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I love H.P. Lovecraft, Cthulhu mythos stuff. And one of the things that I like about how Lovecraft writes the mythos, and a lot of other authors who've written the mythos after him, that they don't get, Lovecraft writes these stories, and he's like, it's the sense of cosmic horror, and it's, you know what? You fight these things, and you lose. you live in an uncaring, horrible universe that the more you learn about it, the more you realize how insignificant and awful you are, and you're just kind of kicking against the darkness, and it's not good, it's bad, and you won't win. And so it's not even existentialist in that there's like honor in the struggle. It's like, no, you're awful. Like that's kind of Lovecraft has this very kind of misanthropic, dark, vile look. And other writers like August Derleth, and then there's they get Brian Lumley does Necroscope. He's written some Lovecraftian stuff, and they're like, well, we want heroes that are cool and can fight back and win the end. And I think that's not purely Lovecraftian. So in one respect, kind of just going crazy in the middle of this room without having the same meaning that Botticello had, where he died in this struggle and kind of died to save the party, is it's a very Lovecraftian end, so it's very fitting for the game. So in that respect, I'm happy that it maybe not necessarily ended this way, but went down this way. Like, being senseless is actually kind of part of Lovecraft.
So let me ask you this: were you going, if you had the opportunity, were you going to kill Wilkerson?
Yeah, when I said that I pulled out the shotgun, my full intention was to fire, knowing that it would have been 46 of damage, which could have easily wiped, snuffed out most hit point values. I wasn't happy about that because I didn't, as a player, I did not want to kill your character. But as a character, I knew my character would respond like, "You've just been stabbed by someone. This guy's trying to go crazy. You don't know what's happening. I think he's gone crazy and he's trying to kill me and maybe others."
So does that make it better or worse that you went to this room at the top of this pyramid and then snap, oh, I'm going to have to put this guy down, and then all of a sudden I just go nutso and stand at this guy?
I don't put it on you, because I think any one of us could have sat in the chair.
Well, I didn't sit in the chair, by the way.
Your actions did lead us towards sitting in the chair.
I think
sure did.
3 people at the table. 4 people.
Everybody but Weld.
Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, when Matt told me I had unconsciously backed into the chair, I almost said, "Yeah, screw it, I sit." And so I was tempted to do it just to see what happens.
Because my rationale was the last time I put up that I put the potential to lose resources, was when I slapped the mask on Wentworth's face, and my thought was, okay, I don't want to risk somebody else. I will take one for the team. We need to know what's out there. We need to know what this does. I will sit on the throne, and I will only risk myself.
So there is important information that comes from the game that you need from this encounter. That you don't need is exceptionally helpful. You could still bumble your way through the rest of the story without this encounter, but there are some things that are really, really important that come out of this. Here's the thing: like, this is clearly I can't roll to kill you guys at all.
Yeah,
at all.
Clearly.
I'm surprised we didn't lose a character already before we lost Botticello. Now we've lost 3.
died in England.
Yeah.
Twice. I punched out a werewolf. I should be dead.
I honestly figured Botticello would die a long time ago, being a melee character in this kind of universe. It just does not last.
So given that there may be benefits from this, regardless,
it's not worth it.
Do you feel like you railroaded us?
I felt like I railroaded you out of the room, and it didn't work. Because because Eva said, "I'm going to the doorway. Screw that." Did you notice after that she didn't get affected? The only person I didn't have a chance to affect, and this isn't George's fault, is George, because he was involved in everything that was going on. He kept saying, "I'm doing this." That's why you backed up. You quit talking. If you're not consciously doing something, you're doing something else.
Yeah.
Same thing with Scott. Like, Scott was like, we'll just get people out of the room, and that's his brain shutting off. I just watched the movie Click. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but this is the idea that he gets to the remote and then he shuts off his mind in these times when he's skipping time periods.
Are you talking about the Adam Sandler film?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's a concept there that when you're not actively engaged, your mind just, walks you through things without really thinking about it, and that's what was happening here.
That's an amazing takeaway from that movie.
I know. It is.
I just have to say,
Isn't that terrifying, though?
Yeah.
To lose those moments of your life when you just kind of...
Well, and we've all done, like, how'd you get to work? Oh, well, I was at work this morning. How'd you get there? Tell me how you drove in. I don't know. Because you were like, I drove. I know I operated a piece of heavy machinery at speeds. I have no idea. I don't remember the drive in.
I'm awake every day.
Holy crap!
I'm awake every weekday from 7:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. Most days when I wake up at 7:30 a.m., I don't remember my drive home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel incredibly guilty. I come from a background of D&D, The only horror game I've ever run was Vampire, and usually when those characters dies, they deserved it. Honestly, they poked somebody else, and they really had it coming. We've all seen that happen, right?
Oh yeah.
This is not the case. Weld and Eva, the only thing they did to quote unquote deserve this was to try and save the world.
Yeah.
But in Lovecraft, that's wrong. And the senselessness, it's part of the universe. So running it correctly kind of has to
But
have
for
that.
me to grasp that, I have that like heaviness in my chest, and I feel that like, oh, if I just make this like a dream sequence, and I'm like, no, that's a stupid cop out. I did dream sequence once before to really freak the crap out of Scott. That was on purpose. I'm like, this is going to be a dream sequence. Screw with Scott.
Right, and it worked.
But then, I can't do that again. I can't keep using that as a literary device.
Right. Is there any mechanic to bring them out of their insanity?
Yes. And there's a long-term device.
These characters are gone.
You have until January 14th, 1926, and that is 9 months.
But these characters would be removed from this encounter. That doesn't necessarily mean they're removed from society forever.
They would have to be put into a sanatorium.
Well,
see, and
for how long? I mean, so like in game terms,
yeah,
these characters are written out of the game entirely, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys will dispose of their gibbering.
That's the thing I'm curious about. Are they just writhing on the ground, gibbering and slobbering themselves?
Well, and we will go over that. I wanted to
really
really read over that before I make you guys sound ridiculous without having reason. But
because here's sort of because I get that, and I'm not trying to say, well, how do I save these two characters? Because you're right, in the Lovecraftian way, that doesn't work for the story. You guys are gone, and
that's not fair. Jason wasn't going to die.
Oh no! Oh man.
Well, but is this? And I'm asking this because this is the first time I've ever done this. Is this juxtaposition extremely Lovecraftian? From the idea, Botticelli was broken, needed to go. Wentworth is broken, needs to go. I'm broken, need to go. You are right on that edge, probably one step enough into the darkness that you needed to go. You two are the two pure ones in the party that didn't deserve to get your neck stepped on. So is that in that Lovecraftian, not the J.R.R. Martin, gee, I like these two characters, now they've got to die, but in the Lovecraftian way to go, Weld was probably the most pure, and McCree was right after him as far as the purity scale goes of pure of heart.
Drugs.
Well, but
that was intimated.
But that's not necessarily evil, majestically. You know what I'm saying?
The perspective I was taking with Weld on this was that he'd had really bad experience during the war that Byrne was there for, where a lot of guys died under his command in a mission where he's like, I'm going to go be the big hero, got a lot of people killed, and felt immense guilt over that. When was like, I need to reject Western society and things that led me to that and those values, went to the East and then expanded his mind and thought that he was expanding his mind and learning all these cool things. That was great. And he comes back and he's half understands them in kind of a patrician Western way of looking at things, like, oh, I'm totally grasp their culture. Just you've seen people who travel abroad for like a semester and they come back and they're like, I know what France is like, or
I'm totally
Japan,
French now. Yeah.
So then when he starts encountering this stuff, he's learning mysteries, he's learning things, he's opening his mind even further and realizing, oh no. You don't want to open your mind that far. There is some knowledge you should not touch. Like just straight up, that's bad. Leave that away and try and get rid of it. But then going back to what you're saying about the Lovecraftian thing, one thing that's weird, like if you're looking at pure Lovecraft, stories that Lovecraft wrote, he wrote mostly about solitary protagonists because he was a very solitary, weird dude himself, and he put a lot of himself in those. But they were by themselves a lot, so he didn't write a lot with the team dynamic like we would. And so for certain, that's where it kind of kicks against like common horror stereotypes, because in common horror, you need to have a group of people so you can knock them off one by one. In Lovecraft, that doesn't really happen because these stories, short stories, or the format's different. I don't think human interaction really interested in that much.
Yeah. But does this make it more apt, more Lovecraftian from the idea that well, gee, the antithesis to, well, the hero fights to save the world in this universe. Those that are the most pure, yeah, you're dead. Like, you were trying to stop the crazy guy. You were trying to stop somebody from sitting in the chair because you didn't want something bad to happen. Oh, by the way, now roll again, and you two die. And we're done.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, I don't know, honestly. I have to look and read some more about that. It's interesting.
According to the book, Permanent Insanity works as so. It's completely up to my discretion.
Yeah.
Then says the guy with the mutton chops, commit, they're dead.
It suggests a year or a lifetime. The average stay is 4.5 years.
Yeah.
So we talked briefly about Call of Cthulhu. Maybe they come back for that as NPCs.
Nice.
And I think that would be a nice callback.
Yeah.
But clearly they're going to survive.
Well, assuming you guys get out of the desert, okay.
Well, and not to mention the fact that assuming I don't wake up and go, what? They were taken over by the majestically evil thing? Oh, we put them down.
If I'm the only one standing, I'm going to tell you that so you don't kill me about the evil thing talking to me.
The entirety of this situation, it's rough. It really is. It's a thing that Call of Cthulhu does, and I tried to express that to all of you when we started this. I know I told you, these characters can die at least a dozen times.
Oh yeah, we didn't believe you.
I did.
Well, George, I think George did because George has been reading the system and getting into it.
We have that game that Shirley and I were the only players in that I wish we had recorded. That was before, where we were just investigating a vampire. It was only a vampire, not a great old one. And this vampire possessed a house, and we were sitting in this room, and that literally scared the shit out of me just by.
We're both looking at it.
Yeah, just by talking.
So we're talking, and I'm like, you do blah blah blah, and you blah blah blah, and you get right up next to it. My hand is up next to my head, and just wham!
Yeah.
And both of them went, blah, and Shirley screamed.
Yeah. And he raised it slowly and made a fist, and like he's gonna hit the table. He's gonna hit the table, but I was enthralled in what he was saying, and he brought it down, and right at that moment I forgot what was happening.
And that's one of my favorite gaming experiences ever because it was exactly that thing that I want out of a game that's horror. This is
my character was shoved out a window and I died.
Yeah.
Well, you died in the basement fighting people. You didn't die out the window.
No.
But this game, I didn't expect this out of, and it sucks because I like all the characters. I do like Weld and Eva. Weld was really the first character and was the center point for this for a while, and I'm glad that he doesn't have to be now, but they're a group dynamic.
Yeah, I didn't set out with the idea that you would be the leader kind of.
Yeah, well, you were at least the linchpin for a while.
Yeah, and that felt
my character.
And that felt what?
I didn't expect that at first. Like, I felt like he kind of became a leader because it seemed that the other characters were sometimes looking for his direction for certain things, even past a certain point, and so I had not expected the character to play that role at all. I expected him to be, because he's pretty flaky at the beginning, and he's kind of flaky throughout. That was an unexpected thing.
I think Scott had a conversation with Matt early on where off mic, where he said, I don't get my motivation, like I'm not happy with this, and I said, don't worry, I'll fix it. I almost had that same conversation with Matt. So like, I'm just here for the money. The first time I see a monster, I'm going to tell Weld to F off.
Yeah, Well, and that's the part of the struggle that I have now is beyond feeling terrible in that I got you two killed, and you're telling me not to, and I'm kind of like, oh, okay, all right, I can get behind that because then this can be like some deep dark horror shit that's like, oh yeah, all right, I can handle grief and loss and how to kill off a character or two and be okay with it and really milk that for substantive gain. But now I'm sitting back going, well, what do I do now? Because I'll guarantee you the idea of I wake up, new guy tells me, yeah, they freaked because he dropped out. His is the only story. They're slavering. And I'm going, okay, who am I going to kill or where am I going to? Because as far as I'm concerned, Weldy's gone. We're out. Or why am I here? What am I going to do? Mm-hmm. How do I move forward with this without going, oh, you've all been tainted by the Dark One, so I'm going to kill you all now, and then go back to Wentworth, who is now the voice of sanity because he wasn't here. He's the only one that's untainted. That's a bad answer. Or, what do I do now? Because you're going to be like, no, seriously, there was a guy with a tongue in a tree and he was a thing. You're going to die. And they're going to go, and I'm going to go, well, they're obviously tainted. They're going to die. And, well, he was taken out too. I might as well make it a group. And then what do? Eat a bullet in the top of a temple? Or at the top of a pyramid? Like, I'm struggling.
You won't wake up until you get back to town.
Yeah,
you won't wake up.
You're unconscious until 3 hit points. So you got a week.
Oh, jeez. So I'm really struggling with, oh shit, well, what am I going to do next?
Yeah, that's right. You're out of. That means it's down to me and Professor.
No, he'll be back up.
He'll wake up.
So it's only up to 3 of us to stop this here ritual thing.
Yeah, like you point out, we may not know. Supposed not. You got 15 sanity left.
Yeah,
you can run through it pretty quickly.
Well, no, yeah, totally. Especially the way I roll. But the thing in the rules is, if you have 1 point of sanity, that you're technically
no, absolutely. What I'm saying is, I'm telling Justin that you run through the encounter with burning your side for the last 2/3 of it.
Yeah, and so this whole situation has really it's rough. But this is how Call of Cthulhu goes, and I wasn't ready for it.
Is there a scenario to get a new batch of investigators in?
Somebody already actually, as of right now, there's a new batch of investigators ready, thanks to George. He thought ahead.
Oh.
If something ever happens to him,
right,
a group comes in,
yeah.
And you going into a sanitarium, that would do it.
That's a thing.
Because you probably would not be shipped back to the United States. You'd probably go to Greece or Italy.
Yeah. Wouldn't his family bring him back?
No, you don't want to try and put a crazy person on a boat for 2 weeks.
Well, also the way my family would respond to me is they already think I was crazy to begin with, and
it's
slightly embarrassing.
So they take care of you.
Totally insane. Would be a horrible embarrassment. They would not want me.
They'd leave you in.
Put me in Greece.
They'd leave them in, the best place possible in Europe, where they have all those ancient mysteries.
Can I say I ran the side quest.
Yeah.
That all ended with relatively happy endings for everyone. I don't think anyone died, did they?
No. Yeah, no, that was completely lovey-dovey compared to this.
And for me, I sometimes think about that and I regret it slightly, because I thought that coming from a game master perspective, because I thought, I was like, maybe I didn't hit the horror hard enough, because you guys did a good job and you kind of cleared everything. And also, I think when you're running a one-shot, it's fundamentally different from a long story. So it's like from this, Weld is off the shelf and whatever, but I've still got a lot of cool memories to think about and cool moments. So that's I've got that. That's really neat.
I actually felt more out of your one-shot than I felt out of I think any other Call of Cthulhu game that I've played in. Because at the end of that,
you were pretty bummed out.
I knew my character was ready to just be done.
Yeah.
And there was nothing I could do there. He couldn't handle what had happened.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying, but I think that it had a deeper impact than that. And I was in tears at the end of that.
Yeah.
So.
And for me, like I was thinking, it's also for a one shot. In practical terms, as a GM, you want to give your players a satisfying evening. So. Yeah. Did you feel satisfied afterward, even though you felt bummed out?
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't want.
That's another good memory.
Because if you kill a bunch of guys, also you're like, oh, we made it to the end, and we say things. We're also we all died at the end of yours.
Yeah,
and that was fun for me.
You weren't getting out of there one way or the
other. You don't remember. You weren't here for it, but we didn't all die, but we were either dead or turned evil on that.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Awesome. I think
they're going down.
If I played Shirley's or I'd played yours before I'd run mine, I probably would have killed off more or done been a little bit harder on us. I wasn't ready to take that because I didn't know if it was.
Well, I mean, and I'm having a hard time remembering, and I could probably just listen to it again. But I think my character was left yes, you have a desk job now. You told your story, and people think you're crazy. So I don't think mine. I mean, comparatively, mine was happy.
Yours is all sunshine and roses compared to this crap.
Yeah. But I was still left with, did it really happen? Nobody believes me. So my feeling coming from yours was that my character was broken.
Yeah.
And he still didn't even know if he did anything good because, there's no evidence that anything actually happened. So
you did stop San Francisco from getting nuked. If that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a part of, and I think that's part of what I find both hard to grasp and that I actively dislike about it. The idea of, well, they stopped San Francisco from getting nuked. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is up to you. It's like, no! Was it good that I saved everything, or should they have all been fried? Don't leave it up to me, you asshole!
Well, I want to kind of wrap this up. This was a tough night for me. I knew what was coming. I was not that I wanted Jason to be here so he could get screwed too, but having him here.
This kind of event would have been good with the whole party.
Yeah. But
one more person would have died. It would have been half.
Without a doubt, he would have sat right down in that chair without even hesitating.
No, he would have ran. Yeah. He would have said, "Oh, you guys are feeling compelled to sit in that chair. I'd run out."
He also
done that.
Well, the good news is if you were outside of that room and that happens, you fight a D6 ghouls.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah, guess what? Ghouls take half damage from
Guns.
Yep.
How about the punch in the face? Lion fist.
Lion claw.
So I'm
glad the chair encounter happened. As a player, I really wanted to see what that chair did.
Yeah.
As
Yes.
a character, I couldn't justify why I sat in that chair, but I wanted to. I wanted the event to trigger.
That's what reminded me. It was like you're on the edge of a cliff, just with that. What would it be like to go over the edge? You know, like, you get that vibe, you know. And as a player playing Call of Cthulhu, you know, you don't want to find out about more stuff. You shouldn't read those books. You shouldn't do that. But also as a player, you're like, but I'd like to know. I want to know all the interesting weird stuff. The more you know, the more seen you get, the closer you get.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, I know I'm cutting you guys off, and I'm sorry, but this was the point was to have a quick wrap up. So, you guys can find us on Facebook and Twitter. This has probably come out a couple of days after the last episode. There will be an episode again on Saturday, so don't worry about that. We'll keep that on the schedule and check out our website. Buy some shirts over at /loot because clearly we have to go buy new character sheets, so we need the money. But you can always find us, you know, Facebook and Twitter, website. So we will talk to you guys real soon.
This has been a production of the Omega Nerds Network, the network where it's on.